Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm a UFC investor. The fight just got done. UFC Abu Dhabi, Umar versus Sandhagen. I'm pretty happy. I got 10 out of 13 picks right. That places me at number 302 on Tapology. So I went up 50 spots. I was number 352 last week. So because of the 10 picks that I got right today, I got 5 perfect. So with all those points, I'm number 302 on Tapology. Last week I got 8 perfect picks and 9 correct out of 14. And then this week or today I got 10 out of 13 correct with 5 perfect. So I'm just going to be going over my picks and my reactions for each fight and just my comments on each fight. I also do want to mention that last night before the fight started, I did post 3 photos of fighters that I was confident would win, which were Shamil, Shara, and Dumas, surprisingly. But Shara being the most confident, Shamil next, and then Dumas least confident. But I was pretty sure those 3 were going to win, which they did. I'll be doing the same thing next week when I do my picks for the next week's card. Honestly, I think Tybura versus Spivak, I think. But that'll be for next week. If you want to follow that, just subscribe and you'll be able to see my picks and my thoughts for next week's card, because I'm ranked number 302 now and I think I'm doing pretty well. So I'm just going to be starting off from the bottom of the card and just going over my picks. I have my picks on the screen too, but I did pick Dumas decision on the first fight. This one I was kind of surprised. Not to say I expected Dumas to dominate, but Dumas did seem to have a little trouble with Tulunin. I think he was just scared of getting hit by Tulunin, and that's why he was being very overly cautious maybe and not really committing to some of his game plans, because I think his game plan was obviously to grapple Tulunin, which was working, but he was kind of not doing so well sometimes, and he actually was catching Tulunin, which I think he should just trust his striking more. So I just hope he gets more confident in the future. And if he doesn't, he's not going to do too well in the next fight, I think. Next fight, I picked Bedoya as the underdog knowingly. I was actually knowing that Bedoya was, not to say not going to win most likely, but I knew he was underdog and I was risking it because I did want to pick Jai Herbert. But yeah, Bedoya lost. Bedoya's pressure didn't work. Even though he was a younger guy by a lot, he still lost by decision. Jai Herbert was able to kind of just control the whole fight. I was at work when this was all happening, so I didn't really get to see everything. But Jai Herbert did manage to just control the whole fight and just outpoint him, catch him pretty good. Bedoya was getting some strikes across, but Herbert was just better than him. I think he was actually quicker than him too. And the next fight, which I actually got wrong again, the second one that I got wrong, which was Dudakova versus Hughes. A lot of people got this one wrong, I think. Dudakova was a big favorite over minus 200 or less, I guess. And yeah, she was doing good at the beginning, getting her wrestling, but Sam Hughes just kind of edged it out and managed to, I guess not steal the win, but just get the win. You know, she has that experience, and she didn't give up. So Sam Hughes won that one. Actually, one of my friends on Discord actually told me to consider switching to Hughes, but I didn't. But that's fine. I don't mind. I only got 3 wrong out of the 13. So this next fight I got right. Garam by decision. I was actually surprised Garam was having a little trouble with Vucenic, because Vucenic was actually doing pretty well for a short notice fighter from Cage Fury, I believe. But yeah, I had bet Vucenic by submission, which was actually pretty good, decent odds. But he didn't get Garam in anything dangerous. I think Vucenic just had a really good start, and then Garam just kind of took over in late round 2. And then the next fight, Gaziev, I picked round 1 KO, but I kind of realized that Gaziev isn't really too confident against fighters that also have power too. So he wanted to take Dantel Mays to the ground, which he did. And he kind of controlled the fight for the most part, just kind of laid on him, just laid his fat belly on him, which worked. So yeah, Dantel Mays and Gaziev were kind of just both gassed towards the end of the fight, and I was expecting Gaziev to do a little bit better, but I mean, he got the win. That's all I'm happy about. He was one of the 3 that I was confident would win, so as long as he got the win, This next fight was Fernandez versus Muhammad Yahya. This one, I don't know why I thought this one was going to be a lot closer than what it was, but no, Fernandez knocked him out in the first round, and I'm kind of surprised because, like I said, I think I'm still pretty new to watching UFC, so I don't really remember who Kawhi Fernandez is, but now I'm going to start remembering. Yahya didn't look too great at all, honestly. And this next fight, I think I actually said in the video before that I was going to pick Alonzo, but I'm so glad I switched up to Azama. I watched a video about him, and he was like a cab driver at one point, and he just kind of fell in love with the sport and just started training. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to give this guy a chance. He's undefeated, Russian guy, and he's good with his hands, and he took out Alonzo. I think Alonzo's been finished before, but he's not easy to finish, and Azama did it. So people talk about his cardio problems, but we haven't even seen him go. I mean, other than I think he actually was about to lose a fight, but then he finished the guy in round 3. I don't know which one it was, but he seems pretty good. So I'm gonna be waiting for his next fight. And this next fight, the third one that I got wrong, the last one that I got wrong out of the 13, was Elvis Brenner. It's kind of sad because I actually had Alvarez as a pick, but then I told myself, like, you know what, I need to pick another underdog. I don't want to just go all favorites, because I do want to mention that if you had picked all favorites, you would have gotten all of them right except for Dudakova, which I just think is kind of funny. It's like, at this point, just pick all. I'm not saying it's a strategy, but picking favorites is pretty. The way I pick, I would say, and I'm gonna be saying this in some of my videos, I would say, is that I just look at it how the odds are saying. It's like, if the odds are saying one guy's gonna win, then you just kind of lean that way, and then you just have to consider the underdog and see what they have to offer. But I only picked 2 underdogs, which was Elvis and Bedoya, and they both lost from shoot box, by the way. Diego Lima needs to reconsider his game plans if he's the guy that's planning for these guys, because it's not working. Even though I did think Elvis Brenner was gonna do pretty good, but now he's like 3-2 in the UFC, and Alvarez just got like a decision win, which I kind of thought was kind of funny because he doesn't get many decision wins. He usually gets submission wins, so that's actually really good because he looked good on the feet, and it kind of shows that he can go to a decision too. So Alvarez actually really impressed on that one. Next fight was Mackenzie Dern versus Lupi Godinez. This one, I was actually picking Lupi at 1.2. I think in the video I mentioned that I picked Lupi. I was going to pick Lupi, and that I was going to look at their striking and see like how they fare. And once I noticed that Lupi doesn't really get a lot of finishes on the feet, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure Mackenzie's going to win, even though she doesn't have the best like hands either. I was like, all right, well, Lupi's not a threat on the feet, and Mackenzie has it's kind of funny to say, but she has like a decent chin, I guess. And yeah, Mackenzie just kind of controlled it, and Mackenzie just kind of like, I don't want to say out brawled her, but she just did better. She was throwing like 1-2s and taking it to the ground. She had a submission threat in the first round, so that was good. Mackenzie, I don't want to say clearly won that, but I think she won that pretty fair and square. This next fight was a sad one. Tony lost again, guys. Like, I don't know why I even considered picking him. I hope in the video I did before this one, I hope I didn't say I was gonna pick him, because I actually did switch up and pick Tony for a bit. But I'm so glad I listened to logic, and I went with Chiesa by decision. That's what I picked, but Chiesa actually managed to finish him, which Oliveira wasn't able to do. So it's just kind of like, but not too surprised. And next fight was Figgy versus Cheeto. This one I was kind of sad I wasn't more confident about, because I was picking Figgy from the start pretty confidently, but then that confidence wavered, and I started thinking Cheeto might win. And I'm kind of glad I switched to Figgy decision, because it made sense. You know, Cheeto's not hard to put down, or he's hard to finish. But Figgy managed to knock Cheeto down, which was, I think, his first knockdown of his career. I'm not too sure about that, but Figgy did really well. I'm excited to see what his next fight is Shara Bullet versus Michael Oleksiejczuk. Alex Jacek is like a striker, like a KO artist kind of guy, and so is Shara. So I knew this one was gonna be on the feet, you know, and I assumed that Shara would, not to say have the advantage, but I knew that Shara was good on the feet too, and I was like, why would this fight be made unless Shara would be a better striker than Michael, you know, which he kind of showed, I think. Honestly, I wasn't, like I said, I was at work when this was happening, so I didn't really pay too much attention to this fight, I think. I was just looking over, and I could tell that Shara was just striking with him. I think Shara was throwing a lot of leg kicks, from what I remember, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I think I went KO in the third round, but I went to decision. Michael doesn't get finished easily. And last fight, another fight where I switched up on in the last video. I even said I ended the video saying I was gonna pick Corey, but I'm so glad I didn't, because I listened to logic and pick Umar by decision, because, you know, Khabib's with them, Jorge Mendes is with him on their corner, and I had a feeling that their wrestling was just gonna overwhelm them. You know, I thought of Bilal and Leon, and I was like, you know what? There's just something to this grappling and this like Khabib team. They just managed to get their game plan across, you know. So ended up picking Umar by a finish, because I kind of did see a decision happening, but I don't know. I just kind of expected a finish, and if it wasn't from Corey, I would expect it from Umar. But I guess both of them are tough. They went to decision. They both had the cardio. This kind of answers the cardio question for Umar. And it kind of proves the doubters wrong, that he's like top tier, I guess. And yeah, guys, those are my picks. Like I said, I got 10 out of 13 right, 5 of them being perfect, including the decisions. This makes me ranked at number 352 on Tapology. I ranked for the predictions tonight themselves, along with everybody else I predicted tonight. I ranked at 1,271 out of 5,500. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Comment below what your thoughts are, what your picks were, any recommendations, and subscribe if you can, like the video. And yeah, until next time, guys, I'll be posting another video. I'm not sure what about the bets, or maybe more about tonight's card. Not too sure, but I'll be posting another video. And thanks for watching, guys.